please pay attention to what you say. Pay attention to even the things you post on social media. Those things are who you are. And I believe that each and every one of us, they are created in this world to fulfill a certain purpose. And don't just get into business for the sake of being a business person, that you want to be a CEO and all of that. What problem are you trying to solve? And another thing, as an entrepreneur, you have to be innovative. Creativity is everything in business, because as the president was here, they wanted a young person who can speak on behalf of young people on the issues that are facing young people of the province. So,
Gain ground, breaking bread, and knowledge.
Well, welcome to the 6th episode of Gain Ground podcast. We are live at Indalo Lodge, Mbombela. So now we are chilling today with the beautiful lady, Ntsako Mahlaule. Yeah, what we want to know today, we're just going to talk a little bit about who is Ntsako and what is she doing, because we hear amazing things about her. So the big question is, who is Ntsako? How did you grow? How did you grow up, and where did you grow up?
Okay. Good evening. Greetings to our lovely listeners. I'd like to take this opportunity and appreciate the management of Gain Ground for asking to have me tonight. And I'd like to appreciate the host of today, Mr. Se. Thank you so much for the welcome. So, in short, Ntsako Mahlaule is a village girl from Bushbuck Ridge, in a small village that is called Agincourt. I'm a God-fearing, a young person. I'm a Jesus girl. I'm not ashamed of that.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm a goal-driven, and I am passionate. I love what I do. And I am consistent. Like when I have decided to do a certain thing, I do not give up until I've achieved it. So basically, that's who Ntsako is. And all of those things that I've just mentioned now, they have helped me to build Ntsako to the person that she is today. Because like you said, that you might had a lot of things. I think to get to the point, I'm a founder and CEO of Charged Up, that deals with photography, branding, and clothing. So I started back at home in a small village, and when I started, it was only about clothing, because personally I'm passionate about clothes, fashion, and looking nice. So I thought of starting a business that is related to who I am. Understand? So when I started, there were a lot of challenges that came with it, because I was also doing fashion shows and all of that, because I thought fashion shows will help me to introduce charged up clothing collections. And I'm more about empowerment as well. I'm more about inspiration as well. So I thought, since I started this kind of brand, if now I put it to the people, it will also inspire other people to say, if Ntsako was able to do it, I can do it too. So from where I started, I like to appreciate my village, Bushbuck Ridge. I feel like they've accepted my craft. You know, most of the time when you do something that is different, a lot of people tend to like say, no, we cannot support this. What is she trying to do? You understand? And from my educational background, I did analytical chemistry in the University of Mpumalanga, University of Nelson Mandela in the Eastern Cape. So as much as people knew me as someone who studied chemistry, like there were never questions of why they changed to fashion and business and all of that. So the support was beautiful from the beginning. So now when the company grew, I then introduced photography because it was something that it is aligned to me as well. And, when doing events and having to shoot for my new collections, I had to hire people and all of that. So I thought now I'm spending a lot of money outsourcing. So that's when the idea came in of having to have my own photography equipment, so that in my own events and in my own shoots, I use my own stuff. And the advantage of it is that now when I shoot for my things, people get to book the photography services for their things as well. So that's how the business grew. And also in terms of branding, it happens that when I started, I was outsourcing as well. Like when I'm having caps, t-shirts and all of that, I could get people to print for me. But then I realized that I'm spending a lot of money outsourcing, and that made my clothing to be expensive because I had to add money from the other people. And then that's when now I decided to get my own printing, even though there was just small stuff, but I was able to keep the business going. So now my services were clothing, branding, printing, and photography, and then events. And then from then, I had my own shop at Agincourt in the village, because at the end of the day, like I said, that I'm goal driven. I dream so big. I do not believe that there's anything that can stop me from achieving my goals. Like, I believe that regardless of where I come from, my background and all of that, I can still become the best version of myself. So that's when I decided to start my own shop, because in my goals, in my bigger picture, I've always wanted to see Charged Up at the mall.
Yeah.
That was my main goal from the beginning. And then that's when I was like, okay, well, now I'm having all of these things, because when I started, I was doing all these things in my father's house. So I could see that now as the business is growing, I'm taking their space, because people who come in, I need to print. And then my mom had to call me, hey, Ntsako, bakulava hand. You understand? So I just felt like now it was not looking like a formal business. That's when I decided to open my small shop, very small. And then another thing about me is that I'm all about economic development. I'm all about job creation. And for me to go outside of my comfort zone and get my first job, it also enabled me to employ my first employee. So it was like, okay, this is helping me. Like I was ticking, in my wish list. So you said you wanted to know about my journey.
Yes.
So you better be ready.
Yeah, but before you go on with everything else,
Yeah.
but I just want to know, for someone who's listening at home right now, who's asking himself, okay, fine, now this lady is doing all these things. What is it that gave you that so much confidence that you're gonna make it out there? Because surely it's not easy for someone who's growing up, someone who's having big dreams and ideas. But for the fact that you're gonna make it in an industry out there, what is it that gave you that boost, that gave you that confidence that you have to say, I'm going to go all in?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I believe for me, it was my passion. And personally, I feel like, and I believe as a Christian, I believe that each and every one of us, they are created in this world to fulfill a certain purpose.
Of course.
And I'm really excited and I'm happy that I have found my purpose. And I believe that was my drive, because I was like, this is what I have to do. And I believe that that was my purpose and my passion. I was doing something that I love. They say that there's a saying that says, do what you love and you will never work a day in your life.
Oh, yes.
So that's something that has always driven me, as much as there was always challenges and all of that. But for the fact that I was doing something that I'm passionate about, I felt even more privileged to like, even though there are challenges, for the fact that I'm still able to dream, then it means that I can achieve it.
Or it means the most important thing is to have passion for what you are doing. Because if you are passionate about what you are doing, it means you are going to go all out, even if there are challenges along the way. But for the fact that you believe in this thing so much, then you're going to do whatever it takes just to
Yeah.
get there where you
Yeah,
want to
just to add on that, it's the passion, and also, more especially in the entrepreneurship space.
Yes.
To be an entrepreneur is not just about making money. It's
yes.
about identifying a problem and come up with a solution.
I love that.
Exactly. So I think another thing that people have to look into these things for their businesses or for their passion to succeed. What is your why? Like, why is your why strong enough to help you throughout the whole thing? And also another thing, like, what is the solution are you trying to solve? Like, have you identified a lack? Because like I was saying, where I grew up, it was a village. And most of these things were scarce. To have someone who's branding, to have someone who's doing events, business seminars, fashion shows, and all these things. And mostly for a young female person, it was very rare. So for me, I've identified a problem and I told myself that I am a solution. So I think that's one of the things that can help a listener who's listening out there to say, don't just get into business for the sake of being a business person, that you want to be a CEO and all of that. What problem are you trying to solve?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Now, you see, I'm sure someone who's listening at home, they've heard one or two things about Charged Up. And now we hear that it's in the mall in Bombela. You see, there's a Canary Walk. It's everywhere. So now that people know about the brand, Charged Up, the question is, the question that I want to know about you, do you think you have finally arrived where you wanted to be?
Okay, I think let me just take it back to the story that I was giving when I started. So, and you remember when I introduced myself, I said that I am a goal driven and I've set my dreams so high that I don't think I will ever arrive. Hence my book, it's called The Journey of Becoming. I'm an author, by the way. I'm sure we'll get to that. So my book is called The Journey of Becoming. Because I do not think to become is a destination. I feel like to become it is a journey. You grow every day, you know. You get to a certain space where you've always wanted to be, to only realize that there's more to achieve. You know, you get to a space where you wanted to know certain information. When you get there, you realize that there's still more to learn. And even in my book, I'm talking about how I allow myself to learn every day, how I believe that I can learn something new from each and every person that I meet. That's why I believe in networking with especially with people that have achieved certain things in life, to know and to understand how did they get there. Even if they're not in the same business space as I am, but their journey can inspire me to see things in a different way. So when, like I was saying that when I was having my small shop, at the end of the day, I wanted to create jobs for South Africans, not just for bushback rich people. You understand? For South Africans. And I see my brand becoming international. But I also understand the importance of humble beginnings. You have to start somewhere to become big. So I appreciate where I come from. I appreciate that I have to start small for me to become big, you know. So when I was there in my small shop, I was like, okay, I'm happy. I've employed, I've contributed to job creation and all of that, but I want more. I was not satisfied. I wanted more, you know, like there was just fire in me to like, no. And, you know, it was that thing I got him. When I got to the malls in Bushback Ridge, Agincourt, I could find people wearing Charged Up and all of that. It was making me happy. When I got to churches, pastors were wearing Charged Up when they're preaching and all of that. I was happy, you know. And young people were happy about Charged Up in Agincourt, in Bushback Ridge as well. But still, I wanted more. It was not enough for me. That's when I decided to move to Nelspruit. Not because I knew anyone here, not because I had a business opportunity here, but to my thoughts, it was that thing I got it is a capital city. That's where more opportunities are. That's where more prominent businesses are. I have to go there. And then, because now you mentioned the shop at the mall and all of that.
Yeah.
So when I get here, I had to fight. That's where now my passion had to come alive. That's where the consistency I was talking about had to like come to play like now I was actually proving myself then to anyone that Ntsako, is this really what you want? I remember when my parents drove me here, it was very sad because they were dropping me at this other small back room house I could afford at the time, you know. And then my father was like, Ntsako, you do not have to stay behind. I am still your father. I'm still gonna provide everything for you. You do not have to leave. Because yeah, you have to pay rent, you have to do all these things, you know. But I realized that for me to become the person that I wanted to be, I had to step outside my comfort zone. And my parents were my comfort zone because when I was struggling to pay rent or when I was struggling with anything back at home, I could call my father, this and that, you know. But now I was like, for me to be able to get to where I am, I have to be alone. I have to be strong enough. To cut the story short, I went looking for all opportunities that I could find. When there were events, business events, I don't just attend any event. I check the kind of event, what can I benefit, what kind of people are hosting the event. I remember the most two people that inspired me a lot and I started to attend their event was Roni Masilela. He was hosting some investors event, and then I attended that. And now the second one was Mam Sezanele Zondi. I attended her event as well. And to be in those kind of spaces, to hear their success stories, it inspired me to work even harder and to believe that I can actually make it. Up until now, where I'm having my own shop at the mall, something that I've always wanted. Now I have more than 5 people who are working for Charged Up, something that I've always wanted. And now to really answer your question, I don't think I am there yet. I feel like there's still a lot to be done.
So it means you still want to dominate even
like
more in 2024
you have,
and beyond.
actually, I feel like I haven't done anything. This is just the beginning.
So now, for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur like you, so now, what is it that you can tell them, or maybe you can advise them on what to do? Maybe is there any advice you have for them, for those people who are still aspiring to be entrepreneurs like you?
I was speaking at the University of Mpumalanga. Oh, when was it? It was the day before yesterday. Yeah, it was a Friday. And I was speaking to young people who want to be entrepreneurs. And I've actually came up with steps that helped me, and I believe that can help the listeners as well. So this is what I said to them. I said that to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to understand that the way you live your life, just by your lifestyle, that is another way of pitching. We have a lot of people who think that you only pitch for a business opportunity when they are investors seated down and then they said, we have 100,000, what can you tell us about your business? And if you pitch well, we will give you this money. And I was telling them that it is more than that. To be an entrepreneur, it starts with you. It starts with how you live your life. I'm sure you can attest to, there are a lot of people who come to the office to want a charged up service, and the first thing they ask is, where is Ntsako? Because of how I have put my life out there. They just feel like to be given a service by me, it is even more important because of how I portray myself. And which means, number one, to answer your question, it's customer service. How you treat your customers. I've learned a lot that it does not matter. Customers are equal. I shouldn't treat a customer because they've spent more. Like in my business, I have a 150 cap of charged up. I have a banner that I can do, which is worth 6,000. I shouldn't treat a 6,000 rand customer more important than the 150 customer. When you treat your customers well with respect, that helps to grow your business. Because that way, that person who spent 150, when they go outside, they will tell other people of how you treated them. And that way, it helps your business. Secondly, is the passion that I've already talked about, that you should really find something that you like. If it's like having a career, deciding on which career to do. If you're really scared of blood, why should you be a doctor? You understand what I'm saying? So you should be aligned with something that you love. And another thing, as an entrepreneur, you have to be innovative.
Oh, yes.
Creativity is everything in business, because we live in a world that is evolving every day. And then now, for instance, if I have a charged up t-shirt that is written in a certain way, you bought it today. Tomorrow you come back to my shop, you find the same design. Will you buy it?
No.
Not because you don't want to support charged up, but because you have.
Something different.
Exactly, yeah. So as an entrepreneur, you have to stay creative. You're not changing your values for your business, but you have to come up with new ideas that can help your business to grow. And the most important one is compliant. I'm always telling people who book entrepreneurship mentorship with me to say, as an entrepreneur, you have to stay compliant. We have people who have started businesses, like their business are over 3 years old, but their business are not registered. They do not have a business bank account. You do not open a business bank account because you're making a lot of money, but you are trying to show that you respect your business. And anytime an opportunity arises, when they find that you are compliant, it is easy for an investor to give you 100,000 when you have a business bank account than when you're using a personal account that shows all these things. You're buying food there, you're buying clothes there, you're buying alcohol there. I'm not saying to buy those things is wrong, but those things are not related to your business. And the minute you submit a statement that has all of that, an investor loses interest. So entrepreneurs should understand that to get investors is not based on how much money you make, but it's about the discipline you have in your business. That way, you will be able to build trust in your business.
Oh, yeah. Ntsako, you are something else. You are bigger than what you are. Actually, you see, the question that I want to know now, because I find out that now that you're an author, a motivational speaker. Now, I only heard when I was doing the research about you, I just found out that you are a Miss Bachelorette finalist. So now, which means bigger things are more coming. So now the question is, how do you find balance in these things? You are a professional CEO now. You are a professional entrepreneur now. On the other hand, you're a motivational speaker and author. Now you are on. You are about to be Miss Bachelorette.
Okay,
Sorry.
I receive.
South Africa. You see now, where do you find balance in doing all these things?
You know what? I'm an opportunist now.
Okay.
And I strategize. So let's just start with the Miss Bachelorette South Africa. I cannot really say that I'm a model. I'm not a model. But if it means that me getting what I want, I have to get it through modeling. I have to be a model. So Miss Bachelorette South Africa it is a national pageant. And then it is based in Gauteng. And
you are here in Mpumalanga.
Exactly. And now their values, when I make a research about them, I found their values aligned to the person that I am. Because to be a bachelorette, it means that you are unmarried, and the competition as well, it's about, why are you smiling?
just keep
oh
going.
My God.
Keep going.
You are unmarried. And also, their values as well is about independency. They're not really against women become married, but they are saying that as a woman, you should find yourself. You should be independent. You shouldn't depend on a man for for survival, you understand?
Yes,
So
of
they're
course.
trying to build a woman to empower, to inspire, to say you can do it on your own before you get to marriage. So when I see their values, they were aligned to the person that I am. And I thought, let me join this pageant so that it can be a platform for me to inspire more other women to say, you do not need to depend on a man for certain things. You can get married when you are ready to do so, but it shouldn't be a reason that you need money from the man. That's why you are married. And another thing, the reason I entered Miss Bachelorette South Africa is because I was like, okay, now Charged Up was established in Mpumalanga. It is doing well in Mpumalanga. I need to get into other provinces. And for me to get to a province, you cannot just get to Gauteng and be like, hello, Gauteng, I'm here, Charged Up. You see, you need a platform. And for me, I saw that as an opportunity to say, when I am Miss Bachelorette South Africa, Charged Up will be known to say, our Miss Bachelorette South Africa, she is a Charged Up CEO. Then what is Charged Up? Then that's when I start to introduce Charged Up to the province of Gauteng. And then to answer your question of how I found balance, at the end of the day, it's about priorities.
Yes.
And just being organized. In this world, you have to be organized. And another thing with this world of entrepreneurship, like I am finding myself every day. It's so amazing. And it makes me so happy. Like I never thought I would sit and speak. Or maybe because when you're starting a business and people get inspired, the next thing, because it was not really a blend to say I am a speaker, but then as the business grow, now people get to be interested in what you do. They want to learn. They want to know how you get to a certain spaces. And then they'll be like, can you come speak, And then when I get there, just to share my journey, to see the smiles on people, to get the calls. Ntsako, thank you so much for the talk. That was like, okay, that was pushing me to say, I can actually do this, So that's when now I started to be a motivational speaker and to be an author. Also, I never really planned that I will ever become an author, but I just feel like I have so many things to share. Like I could sometimes with the information that I have, I couldn't sleep. I felt like I could just scream to like, guys, it is possible. Your dreams are valid. And I thought some platforms are limited enough because if I'm invited to a radio station to speak, some people are not listening to that radio. But with a book, anyone can be able to get the book and be inspired. So I think for me, to answer your question, Yakori, how do I find balance? First is what I've always said. It is love. I never feel like I can be the last person to sleep netlela ima 2, netlela ima 3, and be the first person to wake up again, maybe sleep for like 2 hours. For me, I don't feel like I'm struggling because I do something that I like. And secondly, of how I find balance is priorities. I know that I am building my brand as Ntsako. I am building my brand, Charged Up, and it is needed for me to work hard. So I think understanding that, it helps me to find balance because I don't feel like I'm struggling.
I love you. I must admit, I love you. And just this thing, there's one thing that I know for a fact. You are so beautiful, Ntsako. That is undeniable.
What is that doing?
And every guy who's out there watching today, right now, they are asking themselves, is this person in love, or maybe does she believe in love for that matter? So my big question to you today, please, you gotta forgive me because I have to ask this one.
Was this part of the script?
Do you believe in love? Because you are a busy woman, and I can tell that you are so passionate in such a way that every time you want to be in business. But now, where do you get time to date? Do you honestly believe that there's something like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or maybe someday you're gonna be a wife to somebody? Do you believe in that? Where do you get time to date? Because surely we are in this world, and we believe in love. We promote love. People must be loved. You see, love is a beautiful thing. But now the thing is, as a person who is so committed like this, who is so you are a role model to everybody, to the
Yeah.
most of the people who want to be entrepreneurs and becoming you. But the thing is, as beautiful as you are, people want to know, are you in love?
People want to know.
Yes, surely. People want to know, are you in love? Or
Am
do
I
you
in?
believe in love?
Okay, you caught me off guard.
Okay.
I will answer the one of do I believe in love?
Yes.
I won't answer that one of am I in love or not.
Okay. It's fine.
So that's for you to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I do believe in love.
Oh, beautiful. At least. At least.
Okay. Love is a beautiful thing, Mr. Sam.
Oh, yes.
It is very beautiful. And I grew up in a family of love. I grew up from the love of my parents. My
Yes.
parents are together, and I'm a firstborn of three. I have two younger brothers. And then my family, it's all about love. And my parents raised me with love. And with the support and the kind of love that they've given me, it showed me the importance of love, more especially in a child,
Yeah.
because with their support, it has helped me to become the person that I am today. It has helped me to be strong enough to believe that I can actually do it. You understand? So seeing their love, it's something that I've always wanted for myself as well.
Yeah.
To say that I want to have a family of my own. I want to have kids of my own, a husband of my own.
Mm-hmm. Surely that will come.
Yeah, so I want to get married. Like I said, that I'm a Miss Bachelorette. So I cannot say that I am in a relationship or not.
Mm.
What I can say is that I'm not married.
Oh, yes.
But I believe in marriage, and it's something that I'm looking forward to. And I sometimes I even feel excited talking about my wedding, how will my wedding look like, and all of that. So I already have an idea. So yeah,
Maybe is there any time frame? Maybe like
it's the same.
yeah, like maybe time, just a desire in your heart that maybe if God can bless me with a man, maybe in 1 year, maybe in
Okay, I
six
think
months, maybe.
when I started my business, as much as I wanted to be married,
Yes.
I was always saying that I'm not ready for marriage yet because I am trying to build this baby of mine, you know. But I feel like, to be honest, at the stage that I am now, I feel like I can get married anytime.
That's lovely. That's beautiful.
Yeah, because as much as I am still building,
Yes.
I've gotten to a point where I'm settled, where I can buy, I can afford.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is a good word, because I didn't want to get married because I wanted money from the guy. Like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't wanna, or I've never wanted to have kids and find that I cannot provide for my kids, you know. But I feel like at the space that I'm at now, I have built my brand and myself to be able to afford to give my kids the kind of the life they deserve. And I feel like I'm ready to be married. I am. I am ready.
Hey, that man.
Yeah, but it should be with someone who will understand the kind of person that I am. I'm not saying that I won't respect my husband, but what I'm trying to say is that he has to understand that I work very hard. As much as I will commit to my family, he should understand that he shouldn't want to kill my brand and all of that. He should be someone who's willing to support, and we grow it together.
So which means he must be someone who's so supportive of your dream.
Yeah.
He must not kill your dream.
Please.
He must keep it alive. Okay, yeah. Now we have spoken about your relationship and stuff, and okay, fine, even though you didn't come straight to it. But now, back to business now. Yeah. Recently, in a few months back, there was president here in Bombela. and we've seen you taking up the platform there. You know, President Cyril Ramaphosa, Fikile Mbalula were all over you. We saw you on social media, the pictures and everything. So now we want to know, how did you get there? People want to know, because I truly believe there are so many entrepreneurs here in Mbombela. So now they will want to know, how did you manage to get that space there? How did you manage to get that opportunity to be in a podium next to the Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa?
Oh my God.
How did you get there?
As for all over me, Mr.
They were all
Sir.
over you, taking pictures, Fikile Mbalula taking selfies
Okay,
with
guys,
you.
okay, okay.
We want to know, how did you get there?
Okay, you.
And what did it mean to you?
I hope that won't get us into trouble.
No,
I
it
mean,
won't.
like all over someone, but yeah, it's fine. You know what? I wanna answer this so well. Yeah.
Please.
And I wanna get to it step by step. Yeah. Really, when you focus on building your brand, you don't know the kind of people who are looking. When you speak, you don't know the kind of people who are listening. So I want to build this to someone who is listening out there, to say, please pay attention to what you say. Pay attention to even the things you post on social media.
Oh, yes.
Those things are who you are. And there are a lot of people who do not even say that, Ntsako, you inspire me, but they are inspired. And there are a lot of people who actually following everything that I do without me even knowing. So I want to say that my statement, the statement that I've just said now, it is a build up to how I got the opportunity to have been selected, because really there are a lot of people who are doing, mostly young people, who are doing great things in Mpumalanga. And I don't want to say that I am better than them, but I would like to say that I was privileged to have been chosen as one of the people, because as the president was here, they wanted a young person who can speak on behalf of young people on the issues that are facing young people of the province. So they thought I am fit. Yes. And I would like to believe that they've chosen me based on the person that I am, based on my journey, based on my consistency. And they thought me sharing my journey, me sharing my story on stage will have to inspire other young people who were there as well. And I believe they also wanted the president also to believe that there are actually young people who can actually stand up and do something for themselves. So the moment for me, it still is one of my favorite highlights.
Yeah.
It was very beautiful. It was an opportunity that has opened a lot of doors for me, and I can also say respect as well, because as an entrepreneur, when you are respected, it's a good thing. You understand?
Yes.
So it has earned me like a lot of great opportunities where I've been invited for magazine covers, for shows on TVs and all of that. So for me, I feel like it has been an opportunity. And I like to say to the listeners, like, I'm still going to be invited to more bigger stages, to more bigger people, to speak in bigger platforms. And I believe that will be through of how I put myself out there, through my consistency, through my passion, and just through my work.
Oh yeah. Well, I must admit that I love this conversation. I really enjoy this conversation. But now, for someone who is sitting at home now, who is inspired by your work, who is inspired by the way you conduct yourself, by the passion that you have for your business. So now people want to know about the funding opportunities. How do someone get funding?
When it comes to funding, I'm that one person who I'm not ashamed to talk about it.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who, like, when they've received funding, they are scared to talk about it, because they feel like to say that they've received funding from this and that, it take away the importance of their business. They will feel like no, we did not make it to this business on our own and all of that. And they feel like that makes them less. You understand?
Yes.
But from my side, I feel like it is important for me to talk about it because it helps other people to know of the opportunities that are available. So when I started my company, I was privileged to have been funded by the NYDA,
Okay.
which is the National Youth Development Agency. And young people should be on a lookout for it. It's for young people who are under 35.
Oh, yes.
So they don't just fund right away. All the fundings are like that. Investors in all of these funding institutions. Young people should learn to be patient. And they should learn to fight for what they want. If you go to NYDA today and they say, fill your name here and we'll get back to you. If they don't get back to you, you don't say they did not get back to me. Go back and say, I came last week, you did not call. And when they say, give these documents, make sure that you get those documents and fill. So that's the kind of compliance I was talking about when we started, that documentations, they help with funding, as now we're talking about funding. So NYDA has helped me, and I believe it's because of two reasons. I was compliant, and hey, I was consistent. They know that Ntsako ihluphile because she was always at the office. So there are a lot of people who, when they see me out there, they're like, she makes it look so easy, you know. Yeah, she makes it look so easy. It seems like when she goes to this office, it's like, oh my God, we've been waiting for you. Here's the money.
Yes.
You know, it's like, it has never been like that. It has never been. I've been chased away so many times to say, your business plan is not complete. I go back and fix it, you know. Sometimes they'll be like, no, this idea, work on it and all of that. I go work on it and I come back, you know. And then my second funding was CEDA. And then I went to them as well. I was like, guys, this is what I do. I am compliant. I have all the documents that you need. Help me, you know. And then, as much as it did not happen at that particular time, I was consistent as well. This thing doesn't happen overnight. I started Charged Up in 2019. And it's just that now with time, I cannot go through all the steps that happened. There was a time when I get to Nelspruit, CEDA helped me with a gazebo. I had to sell on the streets. The whole me, you know. And it's not because I thought Charged Up belongs in the street. I had this big vision of seeing Charged Up in all the malls across the country. But I was like, people, I cannot get to the mall before starting somewhere. People have to know about Charged Up first.
Yes, of course.
And I had a gazebo in the street. I did not have a car. I did not have anything. I could wake up carrying my bags, go to the street, set up my table with my gazebo, give people flyers. Some were not buying. I could spend the whole week, no one was buying. But for the fact that I gave someone my flyer, for the fact that someone came to my table and asked, what is this Charged Up all about? You understand? For me, I was content with that. I felt like I was doing something, you know. Yes, exactly. To the place where I've recently got a funding from the Office of the Premier.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And imagine someone asks, how do you even get guards to go to the Premier's office and ask for opportunities, you know? So as a young entrepreneur, one thing about me, I am very curious. I don't think there's a person in the world, no matter how much they've achieved in life, I feel like they are human beings. They can be approached.
Yes.
They are people that you can talk to. If now Patrice Motsepe is a well-respected person, I feel like I am able to speak to him, regardless of how big he is. You understand? And every day I am preparing myself to say, if I am given an opportunity, imagine now the president was here, and then they've called me to come on stage. Imagine if I was not prepared enough. Stage, you understand?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
an entrepreneur should understand that this entrepreneurship, it's a lifestyle. You live it, you breathe it, you eat it, you grow yourself, you groom yourself, because opportunity can come anytime, and you have to always be ready. You pitching by how you live. There's someone who can actually come to say, I want to find you because I saw you on the street, the love that you shown to your business, like I was driven to come find you, you know. So even the way you speak to people, the way you address, the way you dress, I always say that you dress how you want to be addressed.
Of course.
And to dress well, to be professional, does not mean that you have to wear expensive things. Someone might say, Ntsako, I do not have money to buy brands. You don't have to have brands to look professional. You just have to look clean. You understand?
That's it.
Yes, exactly. So I think that what has helped me. And when I went to the office of the Prima, all these people, the only thing they need is your compliance and your boldness, your drive on how you believe in your brand. I always say that your mindset as an entrepreneur, it has to stay positive. You know, when you are an entrepreneur, you have to always be ready. You always have to tell yourself that your idea, it is worth it. And there will be a lot of people who will tell you otherwise, to say, no, not here, not now. And if your mind is not up for it, you will believe them. But at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, it is your responsibility to prove to the people that they actually need your service, that this is the problem that you've identified and this is the solution that you're trying to bring. So when you go to these funders, this is the approach that you have to give them, to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is how I'm going to contribute to the South African economy.
Yeah. Well, you are something else. You are something else. Yes, you can tell that this thing lives in you.
Yeah.
So now, my final question to you is that what do you say to that someone who say, I've tried these things. I've been knocking on many doors trying to get funding, but I'm not winning. So this person is someone who is saying, no, let me just give up because this thing is not working. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe I have to change a dream because the dream that I had is not working for me. So maybe I have to try something else. So now what do you say to that person who say, I have given up because I've tried so many things for so many years and I'm not winning? So what do you say to that person to give that person hope that there may be a better tomorrow?
You know, I will say that go back to the drawing board.
Okay.
There's always challenges, there's always problems, but what I know about problems is that they can always be fixed.
Okay.
There is always a solution to any kind of problem. And even to the level that I am today in my business, I still encounter a lot of challenges that sometimes they can even make me wonder, like, oh my God, I've worked so hard. What is happening? You understand? Where to now? And when that happens, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need, hence I've said from the beginning, you have to understand your why. You know, your why has to be so strong that when you think of giving up, your why won't let you give up, because you will be like, because 5 years ago, I had this dream. I have to achieve it. If you start a business because you want to prove that you can do better than Ntsako, I'm sorry, this is not for you. Why is not strong enough. But if really this is who you are, this is you have a strong reason of why you started that, then you won't give up. And for you, you have to understand that coming across challenges does not mean that your idea is not worth it. It means that you are in the world, which is full of challenges, and at the same time, it is full of solutions. So to answer your question, if now you're in the verge of giving up, just remember why you started in the first place. Just remember why you started. And another thing, if you're in the verge of giving up, I want to talk about the power of association. Sometimes the reason we want to give up is because the people around us has told us that it won't work out. I believe they say that you become like the person you spend your time with. They say you become like the 5 people you spend around with. If really your best friend is a gossiper, you are definitely a gossiper. There's no, you cannot beat around the bush. You are like them, you understand? So if you feel like the people who are around you are not pushing you to become the best version of yourself, it is okay to not have friends. It is
Be yourself.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's you, then it should be you against the world.
Okay, tell me something. Since you're touching on that one, so it means it is possible for someone to have a mentor maybe outside his circle. Is it possible to have someone maybe on you just follow that person maybe on social media, someone who's like your role model, someone you're looking up to? Is it possible for you to do that, not depending on the people who are around you? Because maybe you notice that the people around you are not living the way you want to live.
It is very possible. From my personal experience, one of the people who I've always looked up to when I was still big at home was Theo Baloy, the owner of Batu.
Okay.
And looking at his story, I've never met him. But, every day I would always go to his socials. So he started selling from the back of his car, selling his shoes and all of that, And now he's opening shops. He has employed a lot of people. And to me, that's something that has always been in my mind, that I want to employ a lot of people. I need to have a lot of people who will provide for their families because of Charged Up, because of Ntsako. And every day, if I see his pictures, taking pictures with his employees, like he could fill a room. And now from selling from the back of his car to having his own places where he produces, where he sells, like his offices and all of that, that has helped me to keep going. So to answer your question, it is possible to have someone who you look up to, because social media is a very powerful tool. It depends on how you use it. You can get to social media or to the internet and search how to kill someone. It will give you an answer. How to get a gun, where can I get a gun and kill myself? It can tell you. You understand? And if you also get to the same internet and ask the internet, how can I get funding? Because for instance, when I started at home, I did not know about all these institutions. I was like, I do not have money. I'm still starting. You understand? And now my parents have spent in the course that I don't want to work on now. I cannot go back to my parents and be like, now I want to start a business. Give me money. That's when I went to the internet and search, So social media is a very powerful tool. You can search on a social media people who are not contributing positive things in the country, and you can get it. You can follow them and become them. But if you want to become something great, you can use social media to your advantage. There are a lot of big people that I've met. I've had Thibaut Touch last year as one of my keynote speaker and my Charged Up Entrepreneurship Network. I've gotten to him through social media. You understand? So social media, like what you were saying about you can follow someone from social and be inspired, is true. Find positive people. Anything that can build you, anything when you are stressed, go to YouTube. Listen to podcasts like this, just search podcast about successful entrepreneurs or talking about their journey or funding or anything like that. It will help you, like it will build your mind. If you feel like now you want to give up, if you hear my story, how can you give up?
Knowing that you started from the bottom.
From the
where you are
bottom,
today.
exactly.
And there's so much beautiful journey that is promising.
To achieve.
So now,
true.
well, because I understand that we have spoken a lot about your journey and everything, I believe we need to have a part 2. This was so beautiful. But now
I cannot wait. I think when now I have won Miss Bachelorette.
Oh yes, we're gonna come back after that. Surely we're gonna win. But anyway, I'm thankful for your time. Well, thank you for coming and be our guest tonight. And we believe that everyone has enjoyed our talk as we are having conversation today. So now, thank you for. Come on.
Ground, Breaking Bread and Knowledge.